Okay, hey, this is Mark coming to you from Baker's Green Acres. Well, it doesn't look too green. March 3rd, and it's a great day because it's nice and sunny, and we've got a bunch of blue sky, and we haven't had that in a while. So I'm feeling pretty psyched. And this morning, conversation at the table was, hey, pastured poultry. We got to get thinking about how we're going to proceed this year. So I've come out to the field where we grow, and this is the equipment that we use. These are chicken tractors. I didn't come up with the idea. There's plenty of people that use them. This happens to be my design for chicken tractors. We make these out of 1-inch ground contact pressure treated wood. These ones are about 5 years old, and they do not have tarps on them right now. We don't do pastured poultry in the wintertime because there's no pasture. It's all underneath this blanket of snow, just thinking about coming up and coming forth and providing the chickens with what they want. This is our brooder right here. So we'll have a little propane tank on the back of that, and there's a heater in there, and we put them in loads of 400 at a time. And it's nice and close to the tractors, so at the first part of the season, you know, they're in there longer because it's colder at night and we can't subject them to too much cold. So we'll leave them in there for, say, 4 weeks, let them out during the day, but then they go back in at night. And then at about 4 weeks, they're all going in chicken tractors, and they're fine. Birds can actually handle cold far better than they can take extreme heat. Anytime we lose birds out here, it's because of the heat. It's never been because of cold. It's always heat. All right, well, you know, I've made lots of videos before about raising pastured poultry, but I don't know as I've ever done like a product outline of pastured poultry. As time goes on, we're seeing that a lot of our customers are people who are interested in eating for health. And that might sound foreign to some folks, like you can eat yourself healthy. You mean you don't have to, you know, get your adenoids cut out, or, you know, be taking prescription drugs all the time to get healthy? No, you don't. Not everybody does. And I'm not here to throw stones at any industry at all. I'm just saying that eating healthy is totally underrated. You know, it's like the last resort. And I think that is a travesty. But, you know, we all seem to be on a level playing field, and you can make the choices you want. If you want cheap stuff, get the cheapest you can. That's your prerogative. But if you want to buy good stuff that's clean and raised healthy, all the chickens are happy, that's also your prerogative. And, you know, it's not important to some people, but some people it really is. Now, let me tell you why it's important to me. The animals are harvesters of this right here, of sunlight. They are the ultimate harvester of that. Now, I know that in the summertime I feel better when I've got a little bit of sun on me. And I know I feel better right now. There hasn't been any sun on me for about a week. And this feels great. Just about sack out the shades levels. But we know that life comes from the sun. Without the sun, you know, nothing grows. And the way that we are growing these chickens is they have total access. See, these chicken tractors have no floors in them. They're totally open. And this field is an alfalfa slash Timothy slash clover field. And the field drinks up all of this sunlight and then all the rain that comes down on it, and produces these nice little leaves. And then the chickens go through and they systematically take those leaves off and eat them, and they think that they're in chicken heaven. And that's how they grow their bodies. They they harvest the vegetation that's harvesting the sunlight. And then we harvest them. You know, we are definitely meat eaters, so it's legitimate for us to eat these chickens, these pigs, these cows. It's legitimate. Some people don't think so, but they probably wouldn't be watching this channel anyway. Unless they want to get converted. So pastured poultry is probably the quickest turnaround on sun harvesting. And our customers feel that it's important to not eat genetically modified materials. So we don't buy genetically modified corn for our feed. And then this year we're going to go one step further, because we haven't been able to do this. You know, you can't really afford organic feed yet. It's new, it's coming. There's not a lot of competition in the marketplace, so what you can get is pretty expensive. And if we have to charge, you know, $6 a pound for chicken, it's going to limit who can get it, and we've penciled it out and it just doesn't work for us. But this year we've got a source, and we're going to try it and see how things go. So I can't guarantee it, but I think it's on the horizon where we're going to be able to go all organically fed. That's a whole nother subject, you know, USD organic or beyond organic or organically fed. We don't get involved in that because I don't ship my stuff to stores, you know, in New York City where they have to put it on the shelf and the customer needs to know what it is. Our customers are people that watch our videos. They've been to the farm, or they know us through the videos, or they know us through publications and things like that. Our farm is open. I mean, you can come here and see how we do things. That's a big, you know, you think about that. There's actually laws that prevent you from doing that on some farms. But here, we own it. We're the ones that control the driveway. And if somebody wants to come and see how we do things, we open the doors to them, because, you know, we got really nothing to hide. Okay, where was I going with that? All right, so yeah, so we're going to go all organic this year, we think, and that will be a huge step in the right direction, I think. The chicken tractors get moved every day, so they have fresh stuff to eat every day, and they also, it keeps them off of their own manure. Chickens are not the smartest animals that came off the ark, and if they have a lot of their manure in front of them, they will eat it, and that's not good, because there's a whole cycle there of protozoa that we would just as soon keep behind them. And you know, when you want to talk about pastured poultry and the benefits of it, every day when we move these, their manure is behind them, right? So the chickens spend mostly all day eating, and then they sit at night, and then they digest the food that they've eaten during the day, and then they manure while they're sleeping, I guess. And then they get up in the morning and say, "Hey, what's this? We didn't see this when we went to bed." And they say, "Well, let's eat some, see how it is." Well, we don't want that. We want that manure behind them, and then the sun hits it and sterilizes it or cleans it. Not necessarily sterilizes it, but it does clean it. It breaks down a lot of the protozoa and the bacteria that's in it, and makes it suitable so that the ground can absorb it. I mean, this cycle is nothing that wasn't carefully designed. You know, an animal eats grain, it manures it out, the manure goes on the ground grows more grain. You know, it's a cycle that's designed to work. I think it was designed for us to be able to take the animals off, because we're definitely carnivores and we need to eat these animals. So that's how this works in a nutshell, and we're gonna focus on this a little bit more this summer, because this is a good place for other folks to get into the farming business. It's kind of like a gateway animal. The turnaround on it is quick. It doesn't cost you a lot of money to get involved, and the skills that are necessary are not, you know, it's not really rocket science. With some good instruction, you know, you can do it. And then the next step is to learn how to process the chickens. Oh, which reminds me, our anyone can farm classes are on the website. You can find them if you go and look, and you can see the class schedule. I don't know what it is right off the top of my head. The administrator, that woman that I'm married to, she does a lot of that stuff, and then I just show up and give the classes. But those classes are excellent too. You learn how to operate these chicken tractors. We're going to build a chicken tractor. We're going to go through the processing process. You know, everybody gets to butcher a couple of chickens or many chickens. We kind of work it in with our schedule so that we have plenty of chickens to use for the students. So that works out good. But pastured poultry, it's a good thing, and I want to jump on it again this spring. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm going to move all this equipment to a different location because I have an idea that we want to fly over it with one of my kids' drones and get photos of it and all that stuff. So, okay, that's my spiel on pastured poultry. We got lots of it in the freezer right now. Go to www.bakersgreenacres.com. Look for pastured poultry. There's all kinds. I mean, all different sizes, all different configurations. Some of them are cut up, some of them are whole. The whole ones definitely are cheaper. Getting this stuff to you. All right, this is clean meat, so you don't have to cook it to death. You don't. If you can't eat a chicken leg raw, you don't want to eat it. If you got to cook it to death, that means there's something in there that you shouldn't be eating. You don't want to eat that. You could eat one raw off this field. I don't like raw chicken as much as I like cooked chicken, but you could. You could. With that said, if we put it in a box with insulation and gel packs and send it to you, let's say in Massachusetts, it will get there frozen. We've done it enough times to know we can send it any place and get it there frozen. In the heat of the summer, it's a little difficult. When we send stuff to, say, Arizona, California, places like that, we make sure that the people know, hey, when it gets there, it might be a little soft. But if it is, don't worry about it. So long as it's not warm and stinky, you can refreeze it. It's not going to kill it. You can refreeze meat twice, you know, before it starts to a noticeable breakdown. And from my videos, you may say, well, you've said other things in the past about refreezing meat, but when I'm talking about charcuterie, we don't freeze it at all. But with pastured poultry, it's fine to refreeze twice. You won't have a problem. We only freeze it once. After they're killed, the same day that they're killed, they go in the freezer. Or maybe the next day, like if we have to cut them up. So they're fresh frozen. And the consistency of these chickens is going to be different than what you've had from the store. They're not mushy. They're substantial, you know, even a little chewy. So if they were frozen twice, it's okay. It's okay. It's not going to hurt anything. All right, there's my thing on pastured poultry. Remember, anyone can farm.